Go ISD's administration building off of Ohio Drive. Showed my ID before entering the building, handed it to the front desk lady. She scanned it. She gave me a sticker badge, which, same picture as your driver's license. I sat in the lobby and waited for Michelle to come get me. She took me behind the double doors. I walked into the elevator, went up to the fourth floor, walked down the hallway, entered an office, and attached to that office was a conference room that had, a conference table with chairs all over around it. Signed a piece of paper essentially saying that I will not take any photo or video of the video that I was about to see. I actually had left all personal excuse me, all personal, belongings in my car besides my driver's license. Up on the wall was a TV, and she told me, hey, most people started at 2 minutes. I said, no, I would love to start it at the 11 minutes before, as far back as I can go. She proceeded to talk to me and describe everything that was on the screen. Essentially, identifiers, bottom right corner was the timestamp, top left corner was the tint or canopy, however you want to flavor it, and it was half cut off. Now, to kind of describe the video and the clarity, crystal clear. I love to say 4K, if not 5K or better. I could see, rain droplets, rain puddles on the track. I could see umbrellas, ponchos. I could see girls in their track uniform, yellow shorts, yellow tops, warming up. People are running around the track as well. And so since I had 11 minutes, I was able to kind of familiarize myself with everything. And I knew prior to going in, I looked at the map to ensure, like, hey, stadium view, where am I at? I knew I'd be viewing from the home side towards the away section, and that the middle school is going to be behind me and the athletic department would be, or the athletic complex would be over to my right. She also informed me that everything would be starting in the tent around 9:54. So again, I knew I had enough time to kind of look around. I even referred back to, Hunter's statement of himself, his brother, and a couple of friends walked from the middle school. So again, I knew they'd be coming around that right-hand side, right? So around 9:50, I kind of started looking, give or take, looking around that side, towards my right. And here they come walking in, right? The way that I love to put it, and I've kind of deemed it since day one, is they were not just, nonchalantly walking to go see a track meet. They actually were walking with intent, walking with a purpose, and the way I've deemed it is predator versus prey. So they walked around, got up onto the visitor side of the bleachers. As we all know, if you've been to any kind of like football game, that bottom part of the bleachers is all metal, so it's a metal walking path. They walked up towards the tent, up those steps, and the altercation immediately started, like the lady said, around 9:54. There was no sitting. I do not believe that what has been stated in the interviews is accurate. And the reason why I can say that is because viewing from that far, you can tell elevations, right? You can tell when people are sitting, you can tell when people are standing, and they stood the whole time. I believe that he was jumped, and the reason why I say that as well is because you could see arm movements moving back and forth, right? Cannot tell if it's been a punch or a push or a shove, grab, such things of that nature. And the reason why I say it was jumping is, jumping to me is it could be one person touching you at once. It could be multiple people touching you at once. It's just when you have multiple people in front of you at the same time, right? You could see movement, like I said, underneath the tent, as well as moving above the tent a little bit, which I believe to have been Karmelo kind of, trying to get away. Towards the end, which we know was the poke, he ran up, I would say about 3 or 4 bleacher seats, kind of looked around. He went to my right, which would have been his left, diagonally to the steps. He ran straight down. And of course, when he got to the bottom, he kind of tripped and fell. And he was being chased by 3 boys at that point in time. I let him run off to the side. I tried not to be distracted with him running off. We knew he was, the way that I put it is, he was running to seek safety. He was not running to a McDonald's. He was not running to flee the scene or anything in that manner. So I quickly took my eyes back over to the tent, just in time to see Austin walking down those steps. As he hit the bottom of the steps, he collapsed to his knees and fell to his right side, which would have been my left side. I cannot confirm or deny whose quote-unquote was the closest, off of Hunter's interviews. He stated that he fell into his arms. Could be true. I cannot identify there, right? Um, but then from there, people scattered like roaches. You turn on the lights, they went everywhere on multiple different directions. I did see a gentleman walk over in what I'm going to say is he was a coach or an athletic trainer. He was wearing a blue hoodie. He immediately, was attending to Austin. About 10 minutes later, within that 10-minute time frame, I could see the first officer arrive on scene. He was running from the middle school diagonally across the field. And then, like I said, within that 10 minutes, the EMT, the ambulance pulled on the track, and right in front of where Austin had been laying. And honestly, it blocked everything out. You couldn't see any more bodies behind there or any kind of commotion or movement. And then, of course, the EMTs had to take the stretcher out and wheel it all the way around because they could not lift it above that chain link fence that was right there. From there, we all know that they were probably, giving him life-saving measures. It did start to downpour at that point in time. Again, I could see it on the screen, and then you could also see the tent being moved down on top of them to kind of preserve and cover his body, as well as the guys working on him. From there, more officers arrived on scene. The reason why I know it's officers is because their bulky kind of uniforms that they were wearing, their safety vests, for that matter. You could see crime scene tape going up, as well as them starting to open the blue tarp up. I saw it go from that white or silver side, whatever you want to call it, opened up to the blue side, laid over the poker. And then you could see two officers grab the bag, one tossed it to another, and laid it on top of the tarp so the tarp wouldn't blow away. Again, from there, I started noticing still more people still kind of lingering, but it was thinned out a lot. I think a lot of coaches and staff were still standing on the field. The reason why I say is because, coaches are pretty much ex-athletes and they're just out of shape. They have usually a gut, a bigger of a belly, and I could differentiate them between, kids or adults. And then from there, I watched when they backed that ambulance up, put Austin inside of the ambulance. They sat there for a couple of, minutes, I would say, maybe one or two, to ensure that he was strapped in, maybe giving him some IVs or something. They pulled out. I watched the ambulance leave, as well as one squad car. And then from there, it was just the remainder of the police that had arrived on scene, kind of doing their investigation from there. So, I mean, when I say it was instantaneously, it was instantaneously. Again, that's one thing that I love to reiterate.